Hey guys, in today's video, I want to talk about Lucky Hit. Break it down a little bit, explain what Lucky Hit actually is, because whenever it comes to things that are, a little bit random, it can be a little harder to assess that in your build. Something that just says you deal 20% more damage, that's really easy. But when it comes to things like Lucky Hit, that can be a little bit harder to understand. To break it down, Lucky Hit in its most simple form is you have blank percent chance to do blank. This in other games is often called a proc. And as an example right here, we have Innervation. Your lucky hit, you have a 30% chance to gain 8 energy. Now, not all abilities are born the same. So when we see that 30%, it's not actually going to be 30%. There's going to be another layer to it because some skills attack faster, some skills just have a better lucky coefficient to them. And the lucky coefficient is just another multiplier that's going to be affecting that 30%. So if I look at something like Forceful Arrow, this has a lucky hit chance of 40%. So what ends up happening is that 40% is going to be multiplied with that 30% of Innervation. And that's going to be kind of like your true percent chance to activate Innervation. And in this case, 0.40 times 0.30 is going to give you 0.12, which is just a 12% chance for Innervation to work. There's lots of different lucky hits, and it's not just one, like, you're not just doing one lucky hit roll. It's obviously going to depend on that percentage chance. That's why this is up to a 30%, because if we had a skill that was 100% lucky hit, it would be 30%, but it's going to go down based on your skills. So for example, Rapid Fire, this one obviously has a lower lucky hit chance because you're attacking several times, and every one of those arrows has its own lucky hit chance. So if we take our lucky hit chance of 20%, and we take that Innervation chance of 30%, 0.20 times 0.30 is going to give you 0.06, which means that every single hit in Rapid Fire, right? It attacks 5 times. Every single one of those has a 6% chance to activate Innervation, or Innervate. What's it called? Innervation. Yeah, and I have seen it like proc multiple times where I'll get 3 or sometimes even 4. Obviously, it's very hard to get 5 to have all of them line up, but it is possible. Now, how does lucky hit chance work? That's a stat we can get. So for example, here, Alchemist Fortune, non-physical damage you deal has a 10% increased lucky hit chance. This is important because for something like a Dash, right, I can Shadow Imbue it so it does shadow damage. Now, Dash is a 25% lucky hit chance by default. And again, we'll talk about Innervation, which has a 30% chance to gain 8 energy. Well, if we take that 25%, and that 30%, 0.25 times 0.30 gives us 0.075. Ordinarily, this would be a 7.5% chance. Then we're going to take that 0.075, we're going to multiply it with our 10% modifier, which, because it's 10% increased lucky hit chance, is actually going to be 1.10, because it's 10% extra. And that's going to give us 0.0825, which means an 8.25% for Dash. And all of your lucky hit chance is going to add up. So for example, if it was like if you had like 20% lucky hit chance, it would you would take that 0.075 times 1.2. It's not going to be all multiplied together. It's just one big like multiplier at the end to find your lucky hit. It's also good to know that this applies for like more than one enemy you hit. So if I dash through like 10 enemies, all 10 of those are going to have, our 8.25% chance to work. Now, sometimes it's not as important to get multiple procs or multiple opportunities of our lucky hit. Sometimes we just want to know, well, what's the chance that this is going to work at least one time? Rapid Fire is a really good example of this because it's a 6% chance for every ability, but we have 5 of them, right? For something like Blast Trapper's Aspect, this has a lucky hit where dealing direct damage to enemies affected by your trap skills has up to a 30% chance to make them vulnerable for 3 seconds. Just applying vulnerable to them. Now, it doesn't really matter whether Rapid Fire activates this once or twice. Either way, they're going to be vulnerable. We can't make them double vulnerable, although I would probably like that. So what we can do is we can try to calculate what's the percent chance that this is going to work at least once. Let's take our base chance of 20%, which again, that comes from Rapid Fire. We have a 20% lucky hit chance. And then we have that 30% chance from our Codex, right? for Blast Trapper. That's again going to give us 0.20 times 0.30 equals 0.06, which is a 6% chance per hit. Now, the easiest way to calculate what's the chance of at least one of those working is to actually calculate what's a percent chance of all of them missing and then find the opposite, right? So if we have a 6% chance to hit, that means it's actually a 94% chance to fail per hit. So if we have a 94% chance to fail an individual hit, the chance of failing all 5 hits means that we have to have 94% to the power of 5. And we express this as 0.94 raised to the power of 5, and that's going to give us 0.734. What this means is that we have a 73.4% chance for all 5 hits to not work. Now, if we take the opposite of that, if we know it's a 73.4% for it to completely fail, that means there's going to be a 26.6% chance to hit at least once. And it's a lot easier to do it this way as opposed to trying to find the percentage that it can hit once or twice or 3 times or 4 times and 5 times and then adding that all together. It's a lot easier to just see what's the percent chance of it completely failing and then work your way through that. So hopefully this helped explain Lucky Hit a little bit. Again, I was really confused when I first started off. Just remember, Lucky Hit does not work completely on its own. You're going to need to find some kind of Lucky Hit through your abilities like Innervation. And then that's also going to be based on your individual hits again. Some hits, some of them have like a 40% chance, some of them have a 20% chance. Something like Shadow Step I've seen has a 100% chance. So that's a good way of trying to calculate it and seeing, just how useful a Lucky Hit is in your build and whether or not it's something you want to try for. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something new. And I really hope that this helps you in making your builds. Thanks for watching.